What is up, gang? It is X, and I am back with another video. And this is a special video, man, because this is my top 25 anime in 2026. I've really taken a couple days to really think about what I want to rank these amazing series, how I want to put them on this list. So let's get into it, man. You know, so much has changed throughout the years, and I'm not the type of guy that ranks off of all the head stuff of logic and is it a good story. I don't put on my reviewer glasses, bro. You know, it comes straight from the heart, man. Just like when I was a kid, bro. Because you know, my rankings, they might not make sense to other people, but they, you know, it's me, man. This is me. This is my opinion. If it offends you, then I don't know what to tell you, bro. Because too much in this anime community, bro, we try to belittle series or hate on series. I think we should really just be celebrating what we love, and if we have different viewpoints, that's okay, man. That's a good thing. So, with that being said, coming in at number 25, we have one of the best new gen animes, an anime that needs no introduction. It is Demon Slayer. And well, Demon Slayer, I didn't like it at first. It was a little bit tropey, or it is tropey. It was a little bit slow at first, you know, watching it, but I stuck with it because I saw how popular it was. I know it's got katanas in it, and if there's one thing about me, bro, I fuck with katanas heavy. You know, Xero katana blade, baby. So I stuck with it, man, and it's become one of those anime that I think by the time it finishes, it could really go much higher on this list because, man, that movie was something else, dude. The amount of character development we see with a guy like Akaza, and just we have so much compassion for him despite him killing Rengoku, and how him becoming a demon wasn't really his fault, but he was just kind of taken advantage of by Muzan when he was in a completely vulnerable state. And the thing about Demon Slayer, why I love it so much, is the Hashira, man. The Hashira are just awesome. They really do remind me of the Gotai 13 from Bleach in the sense that they're just really freaking cool. And I mean, everybody loves Demon Slayer, man. There's a character for everybody. If you don't like I don't like, for example, I don't really like Tanjiro that much, but I really like Giyu a lot. That's my guy. That's my goat, dude. Oh my, the character development with Giyu too. We get to see, you know, his friend that he couldn't save, bro. I mean, that's some really S tier level writing. And then the fight too. We got to see the first one where I'm blanking on her name, bro, but she dies to that twisted motherfucker. But I could talk more and more about Demon Slayer. Of course, it's got that insane animation. And of course, dude, I gotta mention Tengen. Tengen he's the GOAT. Tengen and Rengoku, I'd be lying if I bro, I was on the plane and I was watching the Mugen Train arc on my phone. Was on a flight to Scotland, bro, and I fucking broke down, dude. You know, mid plane flight. Oh my god, man! You'd want to talk about I was so sad because Rengoku is just the GOAT, dude. So, you know, Demon Slayer is a very special anime to me, and the only reason it's so low right now is because it's ongoing. Coming in at number 24, we got Code Geass, and this is the one that I've got to rewatch. So, you know, I was at my homie's house. We were playing Budokai or whatever, playing Star Wars Battlefront, and they go "Hey, you know those Naruto openings by Flow? Have you ever heard this one? Colors." Starts playing. I'm like, "Oh my god, this is insane." They're like, "Yeah, it's from this anime called Code Geass, dude. You should check it out." I'm like, "Okay, bet." one of the best binges I've ever had, dude, of like any show. You want to talk about just one of the most amazing main characters of any anime, one of the most complex characters, period, in fiction. Lelouch definitely like has that title, bro. He is the goat, and the ending of the series, just that's probably up there as like one of the best anime endings of all time. In terms of like I was actually so pissed though when Lelouch died. I was like, bro, there's got to be like more to this. There's got to be a sequel. But you also take like a guy like Suzuku who's trying to do everything by the book, and his dynamic with Lelouch, who's more of a rebel. That kind of character dynamic was just amazing, man. And then he has the fucking Lancelot, bro. Oh my god. You want to just talk about one of the coolest things ever. Oh, the with the green cube thing spinning around, and his fight with Colin, dude. That is just an aura moment. Colin's pretty cool too. So Code Geass is like high up there. It's probably like once I finish this Bleach rewatch, I'm probably gonna rewatch Code Geass, man, because it's been a long time. And another reason why it's pretty low is because my memory of Code Geass isn't the greatest. So definitely one I need to rewatch, and maybe it'll go higher. Number 23. Oh, and one more thing though is like just like Gundams, bro. Like I fuck with Gundams heavily, so Code Geass was just one that it was just the great. Oh, it was the best, dude. Like I think I sped through that watch through like so quickly. And what was the other thing about Gundams that I had a Gundam when I was like a little kid. It was this it was like a pink and magenta one, and it had a sword and it had a shield. It was so freaking sick. But another thing about Code Geass that I just really, really admire, and I think it's what makes it just such a special anime, is that much like the opening song Colors, it man, it's so colorful and bright, and you'd think it would be like a happy show, but it's actually really dark and twisted. Like you take a scene like Yuffie just spraying people down, and it's just like, holy shit, this is like Happy Tree Friends. But I should probably move on here. So Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is 23, an anime that if I was talking to someone who's new to anime and I wanted to recommend them a series, I would say watch Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, because this is a series that it starts off and then there is not a single bad episode of this show. It is just that good. The writing of the characters is insane. I mean, you talk about someone like Scar, who appears to be a villain, but you realize his backstory and having to save his brother from war. Ed and Al just being some of the coolest shonen protagonists ever. And of course, my goat, my probably tied with Scar as my favorite character, is Roy Mustang. Him taking on Lust is definitely my favorite moment of the show, other than the ending. The ending was amazing. Just that, bro, taking out the lighter and just like that was just sick, man. And of course, we got to talk about Pride and King Bradley were impressive villains in the series for sure. Someone who I really appreciated through my watch through was actually Greed, and seeing his kind of, you actually get this beautiful commentary on how greed operates in the real world, how it starts off as kind of a desire for something, but then it just, you get like corrupted by it. And we saw that take place in the series, and it's just that kind of classic seven deadly sins and the hero's journey, man. It is a hell of an anime. It is number one. It has been number one on Annie list. I don't know if it still is. Actually, let's check right now on my anime list. It's it's up there for a reason, man. It is a classic. Every opening is a complete banger. It's another one that I have to rewatch. Let's go. Top anime. Nope, Freerun's actually number one. I have to watch Freerun, bro. There's well, I don't want to say it. let's stick to the anime talk. Tokyo Ghoul coming in at number 22, and I know there was flaws in the anime. There's holes in the anime, but I've read the manga, and so I'm kind of putting it up here with the manga, but it would be way higher if it was just the manga, because Tokyo Ghoul is just such an amazing series. My personal favorite character was Suzuya Juzo, the guy with the scythe, bro. I know I was born to be a scythe user. This dude pulled up on the motorcycle, pew, 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 cutting shit up, and we saw his sensei's death and how that just kicked him into overdrive. Also, just the season 2 ending where Kaneki is just walking with Hide in the snow. Insane. I think Kaneki and Toka's relationship and romance actually does feel real. And it's a pretty well written romance. I like it. Once we get into Ri too, just having that erasing of the memories and becoming a new person, and oh my gosh, dude, once we get into Arima, Kisho Arima is one of the most amazing characters ever, and I don't think we talk about his greatness enough. Holy crap, dude, reading that fight between him and Kaneki, oh my god. It's just, the creativity too with Tokyo Ghoul is just what I love so much. The Kagane, the different colors, the different fighting styles, the fighting tools they use. And the author is a really great guy who, you know, you kind of get to know him in a sense by his story. By reading the manga, he included so much details about how this project came to be and how he was a struggling college student who was purposeless, and he still doesn't feel like he's done his best. But I mean, the guy's he's so talented, man, and what he's done with Tokyo Ghoul, or hardworking, I should say. He's talented. I don't want to take away from the work that he's put in and he's done. And who knows, maybe he can create something better than Tokyo Ghoul, but I don't know if he can, because it is just a masterpiece. It is one that, whenever I talk to people about anime, Tokyo Ghoul is always one of the ones that's mentioned. Unravel. Oshiketeo, Shiketeo. Just a hell of a series. Definitely a reread. Up and coming. I'm gonna reread all these, bro, because they're just that, like, top 25 just all goated. Number 21. Now this one I thought of putting at number 6 because watching it weekly was one of the most insane weekly watching experiences ever. That is Attack on Titan. You want to talk about the plot twists, the characters like Reiner and Bertolt, witnessing that whole betrayal live was just, I'm never gonna forget that experience, dude. And season 4, oh my god, with the Levi and Mikasa with the freaking, I don't know what you call them, the missile jets on the ODM gear. Oh my lord, dude. That, to me, that was when Attack on Titan peaked. That and all the Marley stuff. Just, you, like, forget the ending. Just let's just focus on what was good. Like Eren Yeager, one of the most amazing main characters ever written, ever made. And man, I've related to him in life because sometimes you have to have that Eren Yeager mentality. It's tough. You got to make sacrifices, man. And I mean, I'm not talking. Hold up, I'm not talking about genocide, guys. But Levi too is just—he's always going to be one of my favorite characters ever because this guy lost so much. He lost every single member of his scout regiment, all his friends, all his comrades, and this man he kept going and went on a generational run, just carved up the Beast Titan. And that ending where he's just putting up the salute and you see that single tear fall down, man, that is one thing about the Attack on Titan ending where I'm like, wow, that was peak. Yeah, I have it low because I really, really did not like the ending. This was number 4 at one point, though, on my list, guys. That's how much I really liked Attack on Titan. And Mikasa, obviously, is a truly amazing character with her. She's got that dog in her, bro. Yeah, AOT. It's one that I'm gonna rewatch as well. Tokyo Revengers coming in at number 20. So I've never talked about this on this channel, but I had the absolute honor and privilege of meeting Draken, Mikey, and Takamichi's voice actors, bro, and they were the coolest people ever. Just extremely funny, very down to earth. I also met the dub voice actors, and they were super cool too. I went to this random anime convention just because, whatever. It's in my area. It's like 20 minutes away, and I ended up meeting 3 characters that have inspired me greatly. The voice actors, and wow, that was just what an experience, dude. Yeah, they were like really close friends too, and really funny. Draken was especially really funny. But let's talk about Tokyo Revengers and why I like it so much. It's so well written. It's about connections. It's about bonds. There's a lot of great fights in it, but the fights always carry a lot of meaning. And you take a character like Baji, for example, and that's one of the best characters ever. He's almost like a Fire Fist ace, just like sacrificing himself for the Tokyo Manji gang. A character like Mikey is extremely complex. He's like the so-called strongest, but he has like, well, since he lost his older brother from a young age, he's pretty like, he will shut down emotionally like pretty quickly and just like be hopeless and lose hope. And he needs support of his friends in order to get picked back up. And I don't think we've seen a character quite like Sanjuro Mikey before. He's one of the best characters in anime and in manga. And then you take Draken as well, who's an awesome fighter, kind of like Guts from Berserk. I mean, he completely destroyed like 100 dudes. And then you take someone like Takamichi, and sure, it is a bit irritating seeing the guy cry every episode. Like, I'm not gonna lie, but you come around to the guy because you realize you don't need to be the strongest to be a leader. You don't need to be the most charismatic to be a leader. Sometimes to be a leader, you just have to stand up again, endure, and want to fight for something, because this guy's getting his ass kicked. He's getting his ass handed to him, but he just refuses to give up. And that kind of mentality inspires others. And in season 3, dude, that was, you want to talk about another weekly watch experience that is one of my favorites of all time. It is season 3 of Tokyo Revengers, bro. Seeing Mikey pull up to the fight last second, oh my god, dude. Or seeing is his name Smiley, the guy with the blue hair? Yeah, Smiley. Just go on an absolute rampage when it looked like the odds were down. Oh man, it's just, sometimes you don't need superpowers, man. You just need to throw hands and kicks, and that is Tokyo Revengers. It's criminally underrated. I think it's one of the best new gen animes out there, and I highly recommend it to anyone who wants to get into anime. I was recommending it to a lot of girls I was going on dates with. I was like, you gotta watch Tokyo Revengers. It's so good. So, number 19, we got Slam Dunk. Now, Slam Dunk is, the reason it's this low is because it is the anime only, and the manga, I'm not including that. So, but Slam Dunk to me, man, is just, I just related so much to Mitsui. You know, I start off the show and it's a lot of comedy, it's a lot of jokes. And, I could go into the manga a little bit too here, but a character like Mitsui and his kind of punk attitude, doesn't want to play basketball, he's like a gangster now, and bro, that might be the greatest moment in Slam Dunk for me, was him finally breaking down, crying on the floor, bloody nose, beat up. Everyone's in that gym and they beating each other up, the gangsters and the members of the team. And he's crying and he looks up at Coach Anzai and he says, I just want to play basketball. And the writing too was phenomenal, of him being this prodigy who's just happy-go-lucky, the best player, and he gets injured, and in that injury he's robbed of what he loves doing, basketball, and it makes it hard for him to return. And he falls out of love with the game because he can't play it, because he's so frustrated that he can't play. That turns against basketball, but deep down he really just wanted to play basketball all along, and that's the whole reason why he kind of flipped and put on this whole fake punk persona. And then he rejoins the team and ends up becoming one of the best players on the team. It's just, it is so peak, man. I just, like, Slam Dunk should be higher. It, like, if I'm ranking by manga, like, it is higher, because in the manga there's another just beautifully written part in the manga where it takes a focus on the rivalry between Sakuragi and Kaide Rukawa, and Haruko is watching Rukawa. She's watching everything he does, and the reason being is because, but she doesn't really pay attention to Sakuragi, she doesn't really want him in that way, and the reason is because Rukawa is so focused, so dedicated to basketball, so locked in on becoming better, that getting with a girl or dating in his life at the moment just doesn't even cross his mind. And man, that is just, I mean, I've been there too, man, where I just have to lock in. And I think I could make a whole video essay on Rukawa. That's how great of a character he is, and his determination. And I could go on and on and on about this series and the manga. Sakuragi is also just one of the funniest MCs ever. You want to talk about a guy who's hilarious, but also we get to see amazing character development. His moment where he messes up the pass and he starts crying, and then he gets comforted by Gori, and then the inverse happens where Gori messes up, and Sakuragi's like patting him on the shoulder. It's just I just love to see that kind of stuff, man, because that's what sports is all about. You got to support your teammates, bro. Take the losses on the chin together, bro, and get them back next time. Another character that I just want to shout out from Slam Dunk is Kogure. I just there's this amazing theme in Slam Dunk of just the seniors kind of being those leaders on and off the court for the team. And I thought Gordia and of course Kogure really exemplified this. And there's that one scene where Kogure is just describing the team. I have the video on my phone of how it is just like one of the best teams he's ever been a part of. And it's an amazing moment, dude. And seeing Kogure come in and make that 3-point shot that was pivotal in them winning the game was great. So that's Slam Dunk. And next up at 18, we have Neon Genesis Evangelion. This one was so good that immediately after watching the anime, I picked up the manga on my Kindle and I read through that. And Shinji was a bit more confident in the manga. So for those that don't really like Shinji being kind of wimpy, pick up the manga. He's a lot more confident in that. Just by the way, I'm including the end of Evangelion movie. I think I could go on and on about the symbolism and all that kind of stuff with this series, but at its core, Evangelion is a masterfully written anime and manga with some of the most complex characters ever. It's focused on simple human dynamics, but explores them to their finest intricacies and details. It's just like, you take a look at, man, it's like I have the thoughts in my head, but I can't get them out of my head. Oh, you look at the angels as being the greatest threats or the issue, but really the issue in Evangelion is all the human relationship dynamics going on. Like Misato not being able to love properly due to her absent father, or Shinji with the hedgehog's dilemma of not wanting to get too close to people but needing that connection. Asuka kind of having this narcissistic complex. It's just one of those stories that everyone has to check out, and it's like one of those ones you could rewatch it 1,000,000 times and you'd pick up on something new every time. For 26 episodes, it's just, and the movie, it's one of the best. It's just one of the best to ever do it, period. I love the memes too. I love the Evangelion memes. I still send them to my buddies, and I don't know if that's ever going to change, Feliz Jueves, baby. So, yeah. And then coming in at 17, we got a series that is like in the neck of the woods of Evangelion, and that is Serial Experiments Lane. This is another one where if you rewatch this 1,000,000 times, if I was a professor teaching a course on SEL, or I was a student taking the class, vice versa, we could go 2 years straight of classes, bro, and we could still be finding out new things, new interpretations of the series, bro. That's how good SEL is. It is amazing. It is a spiritual journey. And guys, not everyone is going to get these anime. One thing I know about people who watch these anime is that they are very smart people. They love philosophy. They love questions. They love looking at the world through a different perspective, different lens, understanding things, questioning reality. This is like existentialism 101, skepticism, and SEL just beautifully and amazingly predicted how technology and the world would kind of have this weird interaction with each other, or connection, and how devices could disconnect us from reality altogether. Bro, when you watch that episode 1, bro, you get chills, man, and it is unlike anything you've ever seen in your life. SEL is just, the opening is amazing, obviously, but Lane, we get to see her just go through one of the most insane existential crises I've ever seen in my life. You get chills, man, and this is why when people ask me, hey bro, we want to do some DMT, or you want to do some acid man or shrooms, I'm like, dude, I don't need to do any of that stuff. I have a psychedelic right here. I just throw on Serial Experiments Lane, and it's like a trip, man. It's not a trip, though, in a sense of one of pleasure. It's one of intensity. One of just, I don't know what to say, bro, because some of those episodes, bro, they are scary. The one with the sister, and I don't even remember what she was doing, but the subtlety in how SEL works and creates this kind of creepy atmosphere. The walk home and the being watched with the laser pointers, or having her dad pause and respond in a super weird tone. It is ungodly at creating just this uncomfortable vibe. But also, you take that scene where she's walking down in this otherworldly, ethereal, kind of astral plane that's probably in her head, and she's confronting all of her insecurities. And that's the whole thing too. And when I finished this anime, I thought, okay, I got to discover the meaning of this, right? But what SEL teaches us is sometimes there isn't an answer, because it won't matter how many explain videos I watch, bro. There's no right answer. It is a work of art, and it's kind of up to the viewer to make some interpretations. Her whole dynamic with her friend too. Oh my god, dude, don't even get me started. Also, another thing, I just love the memes. The I am ballin', I am faded of her crossing up Kawhi Leonard. It's really funny. Or the one that's haha, bro, you're so based and black pilled, you're so cool. And it's just her looking. So that's one of the best 13 episode anime ever made. Ever. It's amazing. Let's see. Initial D. Initial D has risen so much for me, and I realized that this anime just holds such a special place in my heart, bro, because I don't binge it. I wait very patiently and take my time with each stage. I mean, I got through the first 3 stages really quickly, but then after that, I slowed down. I only watched the 4th stage last year, and I'm just starting the 5th stage because I like it that much. Oh, I watched the movie too. I like it that much that I'm not trying to rush through it to finish it. I'm wanting to experience it in a way that, you know, savors the experience, bro. Because I'm only gonna be able to watch Initial D for the first time once, man, and that's not something I normally do. I don't think I've done that for any other series. So, other than probably Hajime no Ippo, which I have to get onto the. I've done the 1 through 75 of that. Oh, how is Ippo not on this list, by the way? Fuck. Dude, okay. That's okay. You know what? I think it would be 26. But back to Initial D. Just, you want to talk about anime speeches. Kisuke's speech to Takumi is one of the greatest speeches of all time, and one that I resonate with so much. I notice a common theme of this is just a number of like speeches that I love are when characters realize like who they are at their core. Like Mitsui realizes he's a basketball player, and that's what he loves to do. And Takumi, he doesn't realize it in that moment. Some of the comments were saying he was more motivated by a girl in a bikini, but I think in that moment he starts to question after Kisuke tells him, like, what the like, dude, you're a racer. Like, you're that good. You're a racer, man. You're not just helping out at home. He starts to realize, oh, okay, maybe I am a racer. Maybe I do love this. And then you take a guy like Ryosuke Takahashi and you put in someone who is just a savant, someone who is so knowledgeable and so smart and understands racing down to a T, assisting these guys, breaking things down, and also joining in the races, helping Kisuke and Takumi. It just makes for such a fun watch, and you get those classic battles in the 90s. You get that amazing Euro beat on there, and you get these opponents that are extremely unlikable. Some of them, not all of them. You get the dating dynamics too in the show, which are entertaining to say the least. I mean, it's pretty funny watching what's that one guy's name? He fumbled so badly. But hey man, it's a good show. And then Takumi's buddy, what's his name? Takumi's friend, I'm blanking. Itsuki. Yeah, I got it before Google showed up. No, Itsuki's pretty funny. He's kind of like Keigo from Bleach. Yeah, Initial D is great. I'm rewatching Bleach right now, but Initial D, if I kind of need a little break, I might watch some of Stage 5, try to complete it. Next up, we got Blue Lock. Blue Lock above Initial D. That's kind of crazy. I'm going to change that real quick. That's a typo. I dude, I love Blue Lock. Like, it's my shit, but it's a little too early to put it above Initial D. I think the main reason I typed that, though, is because the thing about Blue Lock is that it would genuinely hype me up so much that I'd want to throw my computer at my window. The way that I'd be like, let's fucking go. Like, that is my goat right there. Isagi Yoichi cranking in that goal off the pass from Bachira. You know, that is just... You talk about... You mix a sports anime with shonen battle and philosophy. And all these amazing characters. All these extremely well-written characters and strikers. And you've got this amazing competitive journey that is Blue Lock. And I've talked about it a lot in that video about why I love it so much. And I'll repeat myself. Isagi is like the Rock Lee. He is a complete winner. Or he becomes a complete winner, going from having some tough times, the bike scene. But yeah, go watch my video. But now let's talk about number 14. Number 14 is Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. Now, do I really think it's number 14? Do I think it should be higher? Yes, actually. Yes, it should be higher. I'm changing this. I love GX, man. I can't lie. So number 14 is an extremely special anime to me. It's an anime that I started watching when I was just starting college at a proper 4-year school, and that is Psycho-Pass. And I was studying philosophy, and this was an extremely philosophical anime. The main villain, his whole point was to make us question what is right and what is wrong. And the most amazing part of this show was the message about sometimes we have to take matters into our own hands, even if we're going to be labeled wrong. We got to do what we think is right. And we see that with Shinya Kogami, my guy, my absolute goat, taking his gun and tracking down Makishima. That's his name, right? Makishima. I'm like, am I talking about Makima? Yeah, Makishima. And Makishima, I don't think we talk about this enough. How amazing of a villain Makishima was. I mean, you're living in this dystopian world that has these crime things that are tracking people, how susceptible they are to be a criminal, and then you're throwing them away if they are susceptible. And you point that decimator up to Makishima, and keep in mind the decimator is going to tell you if they're bad and deserve to get shot, and it doesn't even work on the guy. And keep in mind he's pulling all kinds of strings and crazy shit. And then we realize there's this disgusting AI database running this dystopian world that is a collection of brains from the rich, the poor, and in between, making decisions. And it is both disturbing, disgusting, inhumane, creepy, and it is just like, what the fuck is happening in this twisted ass world, bro? It's been so long since I've watched it, man. It's been 6 years, 5 years. The Cybel system. So what I really loved about the ending was we might have not seen the end of the Cybel system, but what we did get to see was the man himself, Shinya, reject the system and not be a slave to the system. And it's really just quite an amazing commentary on how groupthink can really destroy the world and fear too. Because, I mean, what is that book called? Like The Giver? The Giver. Very similar, right? It's so fun to really think about these kind of thought experiments of a dystopian society and kind of compare that to where we are now with AI. And it's closer, man. It's on the brink. And kind of like I was talking about with SEL, of like with technology. It's pretty dangerous these days, like with the doom scrolling stuff. And then number 13 is none other than Black Lagoon. So, yeah, Cowboy Bebop didn't even make it on this list. That's insane. I've watched some really good anime in my time. It is 10:41. I'm going to take a break here, though. This is part 1 done. At number 13 on the top 25 anime list, we have none other than Black Lagoon. And it's crazy to put this at number 13 because, man, this anime is just, it's so special to me, man. It is an anime that contains so many philosophical gems, and it's an anime about military factions. It's an anime about mercenaries. It's an anime about different cultures, all just taking place in this amazing setting, Ruanapur, and it's just, it is a treat to watch. It's one of those anime that when I finish it, it was like, wow, I just experienced something amazing, and that's what really compelled me to make that YouTube video on it. Shout out to the homie that recommended me Black Lagoon, man, because wow, what a journey. I didn't even talk about Balalaika in the video that I made. Great character. Of course, Revi is two hands, a badass. Rock, his character development is just one of the greatest character arcs in anime ever. You want to talk about an anime that takes tropes or the ideas of tropes and just completely flips it on its head, does something new, tells a story in such a impactful way with, you know, Roberta's whole arc. It is just, there's no anime quite like it, and I look forward to rewatching it. Something I also really like about it is that we have like 4 main characters. I guess you could say it's 2 with Rock and Revi, but I just really like that Cowboy Bebop style of splitting up into like 4 kind of short story arcs that are their own story. And I know Samurai Champloo does that. I need to finish that anime. I stopped about midway through, but you know, I'll pick it back up. Yeah, really just an amazing watch. 10 out of 10, man. Just absolute cinema. You get some great fights in there too, some really funny moments. I remember when Roberta and Revi are just slugging each other, bro, and Rock just turns around and he goes, "Hey, can we resolve this conflict without anger?" And they're just like, "Shut up." Or in the Twins arc, man, when we get that final showdown and the twins are just these super soldiers from hell, kind of like Roberta, but almost even scarier. Those Romanian devils, as they would call them. They're not devils, but it's because of how they were raised, and they're orphans. But it is a freaky exploration into human psychology and the effects of their upbringing, and it had me watching a 40-minute video on like the history of Romania, which was awesome. Both that and maybe a 40 or 50-minute video, 30 something, I can't remember, it's been years, but about the twins and that Romanian orphanage history. Super interesting history, man. I really love learning about that kind of stuff and how it's intertwined into the anime. And then you had the whole like Russian military stuff with Balalaika and how she just coldly took down the twins with that sniper fire. That was an insane scene. So yeah, wow. Black Lagoon is truly goated. Truly goated. At number 12, we have Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. And Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, it is back when I first got into all this anime stuff. Keep in mind, I was into anime way back when I was a kid, when I was just like 5 years old. My mom would get me VHS tapes of Dragon Ball, and I'd watch that. And then Naruto came along, and Yu-Gi-Oh! And Death Note, and I'd be watching that on TV. And I continued with Naruto, of course, but what really broke things, the floodgates open for me and getting me obsessed with anime and wanting to continue to experience these amazing stories and take learn from the life lessons and philosophies, or be inspired by these characters, or just experience a great story, was really Bleach for me. And it had such a strong impact on me that there's many days where I just think about Bleach. Watching Bleach, I'd think about the manga, I'd think about the characters, I think about how much it meant to me. And it had just such a strong impact. And Yu-Gi-Oh! GX is one of those anime, man, where it just, something about it. I know that I watched it when I was younger, and that's probably why it's a bit connected. But I think the fact that it just starts off so innocently and cheery and fun, and then it gets extremely dark, extremely tough. Man, I think I just relate that to my own life and how things were, because my life was pretty chill and pretty easy, but due to some things, it really took a terrible turn. And I think that's maybe why stories like GX, stories like Bleach, stories like Hunter x Hunter, where characters are really faced with a lot of challenges and difficulties, and they're not always winning. That's probably why those series and Dragon Ball just I relate to them so much. And you want to talk about an example with that, with GX, and it's just everything I am, bro, is GX. Stupid jokes, funny shit, just nonsensical brain rot crap mixed with extremely deep philosophy. It's similar to Bleach in that sense, where it's got that slice of life, chill, hanging out with your friends, and then it goes into overdrive, into fucking crazy mode with shit like genocide, shit like getting possessed by a demon, your friend sacrificing himself, getting possessed by a demon. And I guess GX is just, I don't even know what it is. It's just like, it feels like it was just an anime that was made for me, man. And it feels like it's my signature anime for some reason. Some people have their own like signature anime, like you got the Bleach guy, you got obviously I'm the Naruto guy too, but I just think I'm the Yu-Gi-Oh! GX guy. Like that's just I don't know, like it's just so goated, man. You talk about characters like Hellkaiser Ro, his journey, bro. And there's so many characters and so much lore. The iceberg is so deep with this show. Austin O'Brien, man. Amon Garam being this. That's what I love about it. It's like these characters are just so well written. And they don't make anime like this anymore. So moving on though, at number 11, I'm a little bit shocked GX is like this low too, by the way. It's just that, I don't know, dude. Maybe, but anyway, let's just move on. Fuck it. Jujutsu Kaisen. And dude, when I was going through the dating arc, man, I was like, I kind of fell off. Before this, I was reading JJK and I was having the time of my fucking life, seeing what Kenjaku was up to, bro. seeing what the culling game, what kind of fights were going down, seeing my goat Yuta Akotsu going toe to toe with some formidable villains and Rika popping in, and just seeing Satoru Gojo versus Sukuna. I don't even know how to rank that fight because, listen, I know what happened off panel. I know it was kind of unfair, but the battle IQ on display from Sukuna was there with getting into Megumi's body and doing that world slice. It was calculated using Maharaga. Gojo should have won that fight, let's be honest, with the Hollow Purple. Oh, my dog's barking. So many good characters. Maki destroying her clan. We're about to see that episode soon, bro. I'm hyped. Choso being an amazing older brother. The fight between Kenjaku and Yuki. Oh my god. Melly is peak. So many great fights. I don't know if I should change JJK's rating, because like I'm talking about the manga so much, but this is an anime list. Whatever, bro. I can do whatever I want. Okay. At number 10, we have Kuroko no Basket. For me, the greatest sports anime of all time. My favorite sports anime. The reason being, man, I relate so much to Amine Daiki. Just falling out of love with basketball. It's not fun anymore. It was fun when it was competition. I'm gonna go play some pickup though later this week. You want to talk about an amazing character in Seijiro Akashi, showing the problem with the obsession with winning. And we really bring it back to what basketball and competing was at its core, from this former middle school of just high ego, just unfairness, and like beating teams 200-0. You return back to this sense of friendship and having fun playing the sport with your friends. And that's what I really liked about Kuroko no Basket. And you explore a character like Kisei Ryota and how he discovers his passion for the sport. And that episode where he does the perfect copy is just one of my favorite anime episodes of all time. One of my favorite moments of all time. Man. And then you have also some characters like the Uncrowned Kings, who I found really interesting and pretty cool. They probably should have gotten some more depth there, but Kuroko's a great character. Kagami's awesome. Am I forgetting anyone? Oh, Junpei is an amazing character. I really like that scene with Junpei where he had quit basketball, but then his spark got reignited and he rediscovered his passion for the sport. That was amazing, man. When I first saw that, I was practicing basketball all the time. It really inspired me to hit my workouts extremely hard when it comes to basketball. And who knows, maybe I'll start doing that soon here. You know, it's good to do that, man. It's like, if you're just lifting weights in the gym, man, you can't reach a certain athleticism. Speaking of, I freaking forgot to do my jump rope today. Maybe I should do that. Yeah, I'm gonna hit like 5 minutes of jump rope, maybe 10 minutes after this. Bro, the jump rope is a cheat code for cardio, man. So goated. Why would I join a run club when I can just jump rope for 15 minutes, brother? If you want to join a run club, though, that's good for you. That's just not my thing. Number 9 is an anime that is very special to me, and that is Death Note. Death Note is probably the single greatest anime binge you could ever experience in your life. Other than maybe some other ones I'll get into here in a second. But I remember just finishing the anime in like 6 days the first time I watched it. And I had watched it when I was a kid, but I didn't watch everything. I'd watched maybe like the Ray Penbar moment, which is, oh my god, it's insane. Death Note is just, I have the data book for Death Note. I have the manga box set for Death Note. And I have the carrying case with Light Yagami on there with Ryuk. I am a huge fan of just high IQ battles when it comes to shonen in fights. And also when it comes to the game of cat and mouse and detectives is absolutely god tier. The dynamic and the rivalry between L and Light, I don't think we'll ever see anything quite like it again. There is that rivalry between or cat and mouse game between Tenma and Johan, but I personally prefer L and Light's to theirs. Holy crap, man! Death Note. I rewatched the show right after finishing it, and then I read the manga. It's just something about it, man. I don't know. It's such a good show. The history that this show was inspired off of is actually really interesting. There was this, I might be making this up because I listened to this podcast quite a while ago. It might have been Trash Taste where I heard this, but in Japan there was kind of like a group of students that were frustrated with the workforce, and they created this cult, and they were evil, and they did like murders and stuff. And that was kind of the inspiration for Death Note, which is really interesting to me because we get to see Light Yagami kind of just fed up with this world. And I mean, he gets carried away, man. He becomes a serial killer and he thinks he's justice. And the most amazing thing to me about Death Note is definitely L's character. I think we can all agree that L is probably the most valuable player in the show. He is I mean, don't get me wrong, Light is one of the best anime characters ever written. Super complex character. Those early scenes with, dude, him in the watch. Why are you looking at your watch? Oh my god, dude. The intensity, the thrill of Death Note. You feel that when you're watching it. And it is just a classic anime. It is an anime that is so goated. There is people that don't even watch anime that I talk to, and they will be like, "Oh, I've seen Death Note." I'm like, "Yo, let's go!" Yo, I dap them up. I'm like, "What? You have goated taste, my friend. Let's go." And just L's brilliance is that he is actually an antagonist. He's not a good guy. Some of the methods he uses for his detective work are just fucked up. Just making him one of the most interesting characters to watch. And he totally fucking got Light Yagami in that one episode, bro, where he's on TV. You guys know the one I'm talking about. And he kind of taunts him. L would have definitely won, but keep in mind, this man had to overcome 2 Shinigamis, 2 Death Notes, and the Shinigami eyes. That's what it took to just take down a normal human, bro. That is just how goated L is. And as for the last 12 episodes, yes, they are not as good. There's definitely a fall off. I really like them on my first watch through. On the second rewatch, though, it did fall off. And I kind of just stopped at like episode 29. For the manga, though, I read it all the way through. And in the manga, we actually got some more clarification on how Nier deduced that Mikami had the Death Note. It wasn't just a complete ass pull like it is in the anime. And I think these 12 episodes, I mean, they're never going to compare to the first 25, right? But I think it would have helped their case if they did get a more faithful job being done. I'm blanking on the word for that. Adaptation. So, really, you take a character like L and you split him into two other characters, and it's not going to have that same gravity. Although I do like Mello. Mello's a really cool character. He has L's ability to just take action. And then you have Nier, someone who is an intellectual, someone who is just quiet, master observer, and is just fully back in his seat, waiting for you to make a mistake and to totally nab you and get you. And that's exactly what he did. Now, one thing about these last 12 episodes that I think is amazing is the final scene where Nier and the crew take Kira down and they expose this man. We get to see that he is not a god. He is not who he says he is. He is simply a psychopath and a serial killer. It's one of the best scenes in anime. And getting what's his name? Is it Mitsuya? Death Note. Mitsuri. No. Who shoots Kira? Because I swear, Matsuda. Yeah, Matsuda shooting Light. It's just poetic because he was completely sold by Light's acting. And then also add to that when Ryuk writes Light's name in the Death Note, it's a bit ironic because he gave him that warning earlier. Like, hey, if I get bored, bro, I'm moving on. So that Death Note is amazing, man. The openings too are just god tier. That second one, just complete metal. And right above Death Note, this anime has fallen down off my list as I've had some time to really think about it. It is Monster. It's still amazing. I have it above Death Note because I think it actually goes from episode 1 to the end and it is flawless. There's just so many great characters in Monster. Johan is one of the most scary villains, and he's scary not in terms of having lots of guns or power or abilities. It's just aura. It's just presence. And that's executed so well in Monster. And this guy has the ability to manipulate countries. He's called the devil. And just seeing that chase of Tenma trying to get him and how Johan masterfully manipulates every string to get in Tenma's way is just unreal. And there's so much philosophy in it. I love Monster. It starts off, it's a slow burn, and once it gets going, bro, it goes. Amazing side characters too, like Grimmer. Grimmer is one of my favorite characters ever. He's gone through hell. He can't feel anything, but he's still a good person. He's like the complete opposite of Johan, who, due to what happened when he was younger with his mom and the child swapping and the experiments, he just chose to raise hell, man. And just the battle between idealism and nihilism. And Nina's a great character too. She's awesome. So many good characters, and the fact that Doctor or not Doctor, Detective Lung was an amazing character too, one of my favorites. But even he, a super smart detective, did that tapping with his fingers, was completely fooled, and he thought Johan was not real, and he thought Dr. Tenma was Johan. Hey man, if you like crime thrillers, detective shows, and you're not really into anime, or if you're into anime, I would recommend this to anyone. I would recommend this to someone who doesn't watch anime because it's that good of a show. It is that goddamn good, bro. And it is an amazing show. At number 7, we have Yu Yu Hakusho. And this is one where I am just kicking myself, bro, because I'm like, how have I not rewatched this yet? You know? It's just, it is one of my favorite animes ever. I was so sad when it ended. Yusuke and Keiko, I love their dynamic. It actually feels like a genuine romance. Hiei being one of my favorite characters of all time. Dragon of the Darkness Flame! Kuwabara is an amazing deuterogenist. I don't know if he even is. I guess he is. Karama is great. The demon realm, bro, and just the being a demon. Oh man, Yusuke being half demon. It's just, oh, it's so great, dude. Togashi is just the GOAT. It's so creative. The Dark Tournament arc is the single greatest tournament arc in all of anime and all of manga. The tuning exams. The Dark Tournament arc is the best, dude. It's just that one kid with the yo-yos. You bring in that samurai guy. You bring in Bui. You bring in Toguro. And then later on, after that, we get Sensui, who is an extremely complex villain. The dark, what is it called? Yu Yu Hakusho Dark Chapter, Black Chapter. Yeah, Yu Yu Hakusho is immortalized as one of the greatest anime of all time, and it has been a consistent number 7, number 8 on my list for years. In terms of my favorites, it is kind of to me, Yu Yu Hakusho is that kind of benchmark of, whoa, we're getting into some serious peak here, bro. Some serious peak. And I love Yusuke. He's one of the most witty and charismatic protagonists of all time. He is just a beast, and his training arc with Genkai, his punk attitude, but he's really just a good person on the inside. And seeing that character development to the very end. I wish we got more, man. I wish we got 40, 50, 100 more episodes, but that manga, that writing, bro, it's a burnout. And because we didn't get more, bro, we did get Togashi's masterpiece, which is Hunter x Hunter. Not that Yu Yu Hakusho isn't a masterpiece. It is, but man, I wish we got more, and I can't wait to rewatch it, dude. Smile Bomb in a faceless crowd. God tier. At number 6, this might shock a lot of people, is Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters. Another anime similar to GX, where it's just like, this was just made for me, bro. I just love high-level strategy games. That's why I was so into basketball, because basketball is a game of checks. It's a game of counters. 1 second you're doing your first step, the next second you're faking it and you're shooting a 3. There's just that endless kind of mind games of, oh, I'm going to do this. No, I'm doing that. And we get to see that in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters with amazing duels, high action battles. And please, before you come at me saying, why do you like this? There's so much cheating in it and it's really not that serious. Dude, you gotta watch the sub, man. I know there's cheating in it. That's definitely a flaw of the show. But if you know me, if you know my gaming career at all, I cheated in this game called Realm of the Mad God. I got banned from it for 2 weeks. That's the whole reason I got on Valorant. But Pokemon, I used to go with the action replay with bro, and we'd be getting those legendaries. So I don't mind a little cheating, bro. All is fair in love and war, bro. Sometimes you gotta get it back in blood. The cheating is funny, but Seto Kaiba being an amazing villain slash deuterogenist, just an iconic character, bro. Make sure Wheeler's late. You're a third-rate duelist with a fourth-rate deck. See, even the dub is iconic, but man, you watch the sub and you get these endless iconic duel battles with amazing characters. The journey of Yugi, Honda, Jonochi, and the girl, I'm forgetting her name, of friendship in trying to get Atem's memories back. And then oh my god, man. The Duelist Kingdom arc, I literally blitzed through that. I watched 70 episodes in a week, bro, and I'm not a binger. But I was so locked in. I was having the time of my life just watching Yu-Gi-Oh! I was traveling too, so that's why. I didn't have my gaming PC, so I could fully lock in on anime. And you go from that, and you go to the Battle City arc with Merrick, one of the greatest villains in all of fiction. Oh my god, the backstory of Merrick. I thought Merrick was a good villain, but I didn't. I was like, oh my god, this backstory is amazing. This writing is great. Why he is the way he is, and then he ends up being just a chill dude. But then you get the real villain, which is Bachira being possessed, and we go back in time for this final arc, and I thought the final arc was bad at first, but I ended up loving it, man. I love Egyptian mythology. I have a literal book on Egyptian mythology. It's just, I was, as a kid, man, I loved reading those Rick Riordan series. The ones with the pyramids. I forget what they're called, like something Ra. Rick Riordan, Egyptian. The Kane Chronicles, bro. Oh my god, those are gas. Those are fucking gas, dude. And I grew up watching Yu-Gi-Oh, so I wore the Yu-Gi-Oh t-shirts. I had a whole card collection in a shoebox that I'd bring everywhere with me. My parents dragged me to some party. Well, it was a pretty cool party, bro. It was a pretty cool house. They had a fucking theater in the house. They had a pool. But, I brought my Yu-Gi-Oh cards, bro, and I was like trading or dueling people. I love Yu-Gi-Oh, bro. It's got that darker aesthetic. Yugi and Atem are my favorite shonen protagonist ever of all time. Just absolutely god tier. I just love that more chill side and caring and compassionate side with Yugi and how much he cares about his friends, but also the Atem, who's just an absolute menace, a guy who stands on business, a beast who's going out there and he's kicking ass and he's taking names. And we get to see that character development of Yugi becoming like that in the very end, bro. And Yugi's deck is awesome, man. I really like Yugi's deck. I need to get Yugi's deck, dude. I have Atems, I have Kaibas, I have Joeys, I have Kaisers, I have I won't get into it, but a lot of the GX cast. But no, the teleportation of them into Egypt and they're in the past in this video game and they're talking to NPCs, and you combine something I love and hold so close to my heart in video games, and you put that in anime, and it's just everything I love in one thing, and it's just peak, bro. Just amazing. The final duel and the final send-off with the thumbs up is an iconic scene, And Yu-Gi-Oh will always just be that anime for me, bro, as one of my signatures of like, you think of me and I'm like the Yu-Gi-Oh guy, bro. I'm you know, it's just that goated. At number 5, we have an extremely important anime in my life. An anime that I will be rewatching. I already started trying to rewatch it. And that is Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, and Dragon Ball GT. What do I love about this series is that there's sci-fi, there's fighting, there's high action, and there's some of the greatest villains of all time. Piccolo starts off as one of the greatest villains, and I guess I'll really be talking about DBZ for this segment. I could go into normal Dragon Ball and GT, but I want to just focus on DBZ. Goku versus Frieza is just one of the greatest fights ever, man. I love this fight so much that I actually went to the manga shop and, or actually, a buddy of mine got me the volumes for the Frieza fight, and it's one thing to experience it on the screen, man, but also just seeing Toriyama's brilliance and his penmanship and his absolute, just his understanding. Like, talk about someone that just understands fight choreography. Toriyama just gets it, man. And he was just paving the way for all the series that I love of Naruto, One Piece, Hunter x Hunter, and Bleach. He just laid the foundation, man. And I'm eternally grateful for him, or to him, or of him for that. I mean, I still just go back sometimes and I'll take out those volumes and I'll, because I also have the Cell Saga ones, and I'll just look at some of that artwork, and it's just goddamn peak, dude. Or I'll go back and I'll rewatch an AMV of a 10-minute long fight between Goku and Frieza, and the speech that he gives. I know it's not faithful to the actual manga and sub, but it is a powerful speech. The light and the hope of the universe, man. And just taking down Frieza, getting it back in blood for planet Vegeta. Yeah. And Vegeta being one of the best characters ever in anime. This guy just gets back up no matter what. He's so motivated to train and get better and to catch up to Goku. And I guess I'll move on though to the Cell Saga, and this arc is extremely special to me, dude. I still think about it often, of my first time experiencing this arc, and I've never, typically when I'm watching anime, I'm either hyped or I'm looking forward to what's next. I'm enjoying what's on screen. I've never been put into a state of actual panic, in a state of anxiety. And mind you, I am 23 years old. I was I was working at the time, and this was summer. I was working out, you know, and I see this arc, and I was strucken with fear. A fear in my heart, bro, from this arc. That's how much of an effect it has. That's how high the stakes were in this arc. Of, oh my, the world could be wiped out by Cell. And just, you know, the setup, man, of Dr. Gero and the time travel. And Dragon Ball, it does time travel perfectly. And it's, you see series like Marvel, you see Attack on Titan, they fuck up time travel. Dragon Ball does it so well. I appreciate that. And Future Trunks slicing Frieza is just one of the best entrances of all time in anime. And, Future Trunks is just, he's the GOAT, man. I love the movie, and I love him taking down the androids. This is for Gohan! Frieza. This is a real Super Saiyan. Vegeta! I don't understand! Haha, Kakarot. There's one thing a Saiyan never loses. His pride! So, yeah, the Cell Saga, the build up to the Cell games, and to seeing Gohan and his awakening due to 19's death. He is the coolest anime character ever. He's the most badass anime character ever. That he just completely mixes Cell and the father and son Kamehameha is just iconic, dude. I think I got hit with that actually on Pokemon Showdown when Oxidius beat me when he had his son in his hands. I mean, that's an insane flex, dude. Talk about a father-son Kamehameha. That's one right there. So, and then the next arc, which is also just one that I hold very close to my heart, and I think of because this arc had me cracking up. This arc had me extremely hyped. This arc made me binge and watch 21 or 22 episodes in one day because it was just that exciting and fun to watch. And that is the Boo saga. And Kid Boo is one of my favorite characters of all time. I just love him, man. The mystic guy who just comes in this, he just destroys planets and universes, and he's just an AI, just killing machine, but he's like funny, he just wants chocolate too. And I mean, he's the evil side of like Majin Buu. Majin Buu is cool too. And like Super Buu and all these transformations. I actually drew a photo of Kid Buu, and I'm not a good artist, guys. I can't do it too well, but I really fucked up on a Soifon drawing that I was trying to do. But my Kid Buu one actually turned out pretty good for like my own standards, and I'll pop up a photo. So yeah, Kid Buu is god tier. I have a Kid Buu t-shirt. Just the key blast, the pink key blast, the setting they were fighting in, man. Oh god, dude, the mountains, and that's one thing about Dragon Ball I've always loved is the settings that it takes place in. They're fighting in like other world, or the Kai world. Kai world, DBZ. I should know the name, man. Yeah, the sacred world of the Kai. Just some amazing mountains, all the moons in the purple sky, bro. And seeing SSJ3 Gohan, or Goku, I mean, go toe to toe with Kid Buu. Oh my god, it was peak, and Vegeta was stalling. And you got the Spirit Bomb too. I thought he was gonna be wiped out by the Spirit Bomb, but no, dude, the fight continued. Or no, he did get wiped out. That was Frieza who didn't get wiped out by the Spirit Bomb. And I thought, yeah, I love Dragon Ball. And speaking of GT, I actually have all of GT on VHS. So I just need to get a CRT and a VHS player, and then I can just fire it up in my room, man, anytime I want. And, maybe I'll get a DVD player, get some Bleach DVDs, Naruto DVDs, One Piece. Man, hard media, bro. You gotta have it, man. Dude, I love Dragon Ball so much. I have a Dragon Ball Z hoodie. I have an SSJ3 Goku little like keychain on my backpack. Yeah, Kid Goku in early Dragon Ball is awesome. I like that one scene where he has the sunglasses and he does the peace sign to dodge the solar flare. It's something I love about early Dragon Ball 2 is Tien Shinhao's character, how he's kind of this insecure bully at first, but then we get to see him develop into like a good guy through the help of Master Roshi. Yeah, the Tenkaichi Budokais, dude, are just some of the greatest, like, hand-to-hand martial arts combat fights in anything. And these came out, what, in the, like, mid 80s and early 90s? I could be wrong. I just, man, Dragon Ball is just such a great anime. It unites so many different people, so many different walks of life. Love Dragon Ball. I really want to get my hands on all of the manga. That's a goal of mine. Same with Bleach. Yeah, shout out to Dragon Ball. Number 4. This might come as a surprise to many. And number 4 is none other than One Piece. One Piece. And I've been conflicted about One Piece for years. And you saw that video where I put it number 10. It's not that I never disliked One Piece, it's that I disliked its fan base. That's it. Just the fans that have to tear down series that I love like Bleach or series that I love like Dragon Ball just so they can put One Piece ahead and feel better about themselves. That's the main thing I don't like. I love One Piece. I'm probably one of the biggest One Piece fans out there. I have the One Piece flag on my room. I was reading Wano weekly, and that was one of the most insane weekly experiences I've ever had in my life. Just the reveal after reveal after reveal after foreshadowing. Like Zoro getting the King's Conquerors hockey. It was just insane. The Supreme King. Shanks being one of my favorite characters in anything. Luffy being an amazing protagonist and someone that isn't afraid to just do what he wants to do no matter the consequences. That's something I've always really appreciated about Luffy's character. Like when he just absolutely punches the shit out of the Tenryubito. Is that what it's called? Tenryubito. Yeah. The Celestial Dragon. He just absolutely clocks him. And I remember when I was watching One Piece for the first time, man. And experiencing the Water 7 arc for the first time is something I'm never going to be able to do again. Water 7 is one of the greatest arcs ever. It's definitely in my top 10. Everything that's happening, the inner strife of the crew, Robin leaving, the fight between Luffy and Usopp. Then we get Sogeking, which is really funny. Then we get that one scene where they all hop up on the tower and they're here to save Robin. Something about rescue arcs, man. Just peak. And the whole CP9 stuff. And then Robin's famous line of, I want to live. And then we get Gear 2, Luffy versus Lucci. One of the most satisfying beatdowns ever, man. Early pre-time skip One Piece, there's just something so special about it. Similar to pre-time skip Naruto. And you want to talk about an arc that's going to remain top 3 for me forever. I mean, don't get me wrong, like the stuff in between, like Saboti and all that, it's great. Or after, I mean. But like an arc that is just immortalized in my top 3, never going away, is Marineford. I literally watched 51 episodes in 2 days because of how much I was intrigued. I loved this arc. I wanted to know what happened, man. And it's a simple concept of a brother wanting to save his brother. But you take that and you put in this war with Whitebeard, and you have Ace, this extremely well-written and complex character, the man who's so-called destined to be the next Pirate King, but you know, he's got the name, he's got the ability of the the fire devil fruit, man. I mean, but He's not perfect. He's flawed. He's an imperfect character. And imperfect characters are always the best characters. He makes rash decisions without thinking things through, like taking on Blackbeard. Or when he takes on Akainu. Oh my god, dude. Dude just... That's one thing about Ace, bro. He never ducked a fade. You gotta respect it. He could have just been like, oh, Blackbeard, I'll be your Nakama. No, this man just stood on business and was ready to fight. He was shooting those flame crosses into him. I was so heartbroken and sad when Ace died. He was my favorite character. Still is my favorite character. Trafalgar D. Law obviously is number 2 for me. And then Zoro. And then probably Luffy, or probably Shanks is number 3 actually, and then Zoro, and then Luffy, and then maybe Yamato. Honestly, I don't know if I'd go that high with Yamato, but I really like Yamato's character. She's a freaking boss, dude. How she just wants to be like Oden. I've been using I've got this Japanese Yamato One Piece card. I have a Trafalgar Law one. I've been using it as my bookmark right now as I read through Blade of the Immortal. But there is just so much amazingness in One Piece. And now that all the dust is settled, I've really been able to be like, yeah, I love One Piece so much, man. When I was following weekly, I really enjoyed watching BDA Law's commentary on the chapters. Watching some of Ohara's videos. I've been keeping up with some One Piece YouTubers. I haven't been watching the One Piece content because I'm not caught up, but really cool guys, JD Legend and King Recon, some of the best anime content creators out there. Really good videos, bro. Yeah, their style is definitely like influenced and / inspired me a little bit here. But yeah, One Piece is just there's so many good arcs, man. You want to talk about peak? You go into Law's backstory with Corazon. I mean, just heartbreaking. But also just, I love that line. You don't need a reason to love someone. And just, then you go into Dressrosa and you get these amazing fights between Trafalgar Law and Dofi, man. The creativity in One Piece is something I've always loved. The cut fruit and Law's ability as this death surgeon. He has like this domain and he can just cut things. And oh man, you get that in Wano with the fight between him and Big Mom and Kid taking down Big Mom. It's just legendary, bro. I just, when Luffy versus Kaido is peak, man. Zoro versus King and Sanji versus Queen, brilliant. And One Piece is amazing because it does have a character for everyone. You know, you've got Nami, you've got Robin. I love Robin, by the way. You're either Robin or Nami, bro, and I'm a Robin guy. Robin's the GOAT, man. She's just chill, she's quiet, but she's also a beast. And One Piece has that sense of humor aspect too, that just like that Foxy arc, and has a lot of moments of just celebrating, having fun with your friends. Some of the recent episodes, man, they were just goated, absolutely goated. Shanks versus Kid, oof, that was obliteration, dog. And then also Aokiji versus Garp. You go into the backstory there in the lore. And One Piece, the Sabo versus Inu. Am I saying that right? Emu, yeah. I'm at the part in Egghead where one of the elders, I think Elder Saturn, just showed up. And we're getting that whole thing going down with Kizaru too. I need to catch up on One Piece, bro. And maybe I'll get into the manga too. Love the manga, dude. I have so much respect for Eiichiro Oda. He's a GOAT. One Piece is truly a masterpiece. And a story that I'm extremely grateful for. It is a series that I used to watch 8 hours a day during COVID. Yeah, One Piece is legendary. At number 3, I say it's the best of the big 3, but this is a favorites list, is none other than Bleach. And Bleach is just, you want to talk about lore. You want to talk about characters that are just so goddamn well written. Ichigo Kurosaki, I think, might be the best written character of the big 3. It's hard to say, man, because Naruto and Luffy are definitely up there, but the amount of hardship Ichigo has to go through in his training, I loved the battles with Zangetsu and that whole symbolism of like fighting yourself and like fighting that overthinking into just battling off of instinct rather than being in fear and overthinking it. That message is one that can really translate to life too. And Ichigo having to deal with his survivor's guilt, having that fuel him to want to protect people no matter what, and seeing him fail and not be strong enough. I'm on like episode 127 or something, and Aizen is, man, he's just such a good villain. I don't know what to say. Like, he plans everything so well. He might be the greatest villain of all time. It's just, I don't know, dude. He's just like the perfect villain. He is overthrowing a corrupt soul society, and he's using unjust means to do so. And he's planned everything out so precisely. I feel like Aizen, bro. Sometimes I feel like Aizen, man. Like the aura of just like taking down like 10 people and being a one-man army, bro. And the whole thing with something I loved about Bleach in my first watch through, and I know I'm gonna love it again, is Tosin's fight with Kenpachi and the dog. And his backstory was just so good, bro. So much depth there. A character like Rukia, how good of a friend she is. The speech she gave Ichigo when he failed and telling him to keep going, bro. Talk about a goat, man. Just an absolute goat. And then Byakuya, I completely forgot how... obviously Byakuya is one of my favorite characters ever, and he's a goat for me. But I didn't realize just how amazing he is as a character, because I forgot that he broke the rules in order to take in Rukia. And then he made that vow to himself he would never break a rule again. But deep down, bro, he really just cared for and loved for his adopted younger sister, Rukia. And man, the way that he was convinced by Ichigo in their battle, bro. Also, he's just got a really cool Bankai. Senbon Zakura Kageyoshi. Absolutely peak, man. And then you take a character like Soifon, a character who is just so human. A character that, okay, that sounds kind of cheesy. That sounds like those film nerds, but no, a character that is just so relatable and so, because she's so honest, man. She doesn't hide anything. She is really just her, and she's just like, man, she's just such a great character, bro. Like, she doesn't hide anything. She just tells it like it is. Like, she's just like, I really look up to Yoruichi. I want to be like her. I want to be stronger than her. And she just trains her heart out, and she just looks up to Yoruichi. And we see them fight, and she starts crying when she loses. And I just appreciate that kind of honesty from a character, because Soifon isn't hiding anything. She's really just, she's just being herself, bro. And she's also just really cool. Like, that's kind of her backstory and where she's at in the show where I was, but she's also just a badass and like a boss. And her Bankai is sick. I remember my first watch through, I was just like, dude, Soifon's awesome. But I've gotten to the part with the Vizards, bro, and the Vizards are fucking goated, bro. Oh my god. Just, oh man, Shinji is just such a beast, man. Oh, dude. And Kisuke, of course, is a favorite for everyone. Guy is so chill, man. You can't tell me Gojo was not inspired by him. Like, come on now, bro. Come on. And something I really like about Bleach in my watch is the flash step. That is a sick move. It's a little thing that I appreciate. Right now we're heading into the Waco Mundo arc, though, where I'm at right now. So Bleach is just... I love Bleach, and it's really what got me started into all of this. And I was in a really tough spot in life, and Bleach really picked me back up and put me on the right track and led me. I don't think I would be the successful person and man I am today if it wasn't for Bleach and the life lessons that I learned from Bleach. Just like with Naruto, man, these series have really shaped me into the person that I am and the values that I hold, and also my appreciation for the connections that I have in life with my friends and my family. Also, Keigo from Bleach is fucking hilarious, but what's her name, Chizuru, having that weird one-sided love for Orihime. It's pretty funny. I love the brain rot jokes. My favorite character in Bleach, though, is actually Kenpachi Zaraki, because of his unrelenting will to fight and have long drawn out fights that he just takes pleasure in fighting, man. And he's just got that dog in him, bro. And his fight with Gremmy, bro, 1,000-Year Blood War. I could go on for hours upon hours, dude. I remember reading, or let's go back in time to when I finished Bleach back in 2018, maybe 2019, I want to say, somewhere around there. You know, I started watching YouTube videos because that's naturally what you do after you finish a series. You watch some video essays or analysis or news. And I wanted to see when Bleach was returning, so I watched a lot of Platinum Equinox's videos. And I just remember, wow, this guy is so chill, and everyone in the comments is so cool. You know, the Bleach anime, still 100%, by the way, with Bleach fans being chill. I actually ran into another Bleach fan when I was out and about getting food. Top tier, man. Just waiting for my food, just talking anime with the homies. That's what life's all about, bro. Or the homie, I should say. And, you know, we're like, when is Bleach returning? When are we going to get it back? Because of, 1,000-Year Blood War. We need that back. And, dude, when it returned in anime form, oh my god, man. It was like experiencing Naruto Shippuden for the first time, bro. That's how special it was. And the animation quality, the voice acting, everything, the story, it's just amazing. Bleach is just the best anime ever, dude. Seriously. It's like my top 3 are kind of interchangeable, to be honest. And reading 1,000-Year Blood War 2 for the first time, I remember I got on my Kindle and I just binged through. It was every single chapter, every single panel was just mind-blowing. And there was never a drop-off, a single drop-off. It was all just peak. Bleach is the greatest, bro. At number 2, we have an anime that I recently rewatched. An anime that I am the number 1 most diehard voucher that you've got to read the manga, the new chapters, and that is Hunter x Hunter. I remember, bro, it was after I watched Bleach. A friend of mine was insistent and was persistent. You gotta watch this, bro. You gotta watch Hunter x Hunter. You're gonna love it. Dude, this anime was like, it was made for you, man. Trust, you're gonna love it, dude. And I was like, okay, all right, I'm watching it. And lo and behold, man, I was greeted with an anime that through every arc had something new to offer, something amazing to offer. And what's most amazing to me is through the recent rewatch, dude, I absolutely loved the Greed Island arc, which just made Hunter x Hunter that much better. And having the knowledge and of the story and of the characters from the like latest manga chapters, and having all that knowledge and experiencing the story with that is just something else, man. Like, I don't know. On the first watch through though, bro, when I realized, oh my god, this is a masterpiece, this is truly something special, was in York New City, man. And it's always going to go back to York New City because that arc is just a masterclass. I used to say that Chimera Ant was number one for me, but I really do think you can't even put one above the other. They're just great in their own ways, and they're great at what they do. You take this band of thieves, the Phantom Troop, and you think they're cold-blooded killers, but it showed that their humanity, and that it wasn't just following orders. There's actually, like, Paku loved Crollo, and damn, dude, it's just Kurapika's fight with Yuvirgin, bro. Gon and Killua's reconnaissance and just brilliance in escape and the deal. It's just the auction, the fight between Zeno, Silva, and Crollo. It just never gets old. The indoor fish, man. The fortune telling Nen ability. Nen, in and of itself, it's like Yu-Gi-Oh! There's just so many creative options and forms of battle and ideas. The first watch through of the Chimera Ant arc, bro. The Komugi and Medium romance, bro. That shit just broke me, man. On the second watch through, though, I was like chilling, honestly. I was just kind of noticing other stuff. But the first watch through, bro, that shit had me, bro. That shit got me. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, Hunter x Hunter, and then the Succession War, bro. So many moving pieces, so many amazing, intriguing characters. The fight between Crollo and Hisoka, it's ramping up. We have new characters, new threats, like beyond Netero, Serendic, and Togashi is just creating this giant web of potential destruction and calamity, and he's slowly but surely, those webs are intertwining and getting closer together. Also, a sick characters like Haringe. Like, Haringe is like awesome, dude. His abilities. And then you have like Phaeton and Nobunaga and just Bononov like posing as Hisoka to search for Hisoka. It's just the hunt for Hisoka, bro. It's just peak, man. Oh. But then there's the Scarlet Eyes in play, and Kurapika's there too. And they're going to the Dark Continent, and then there's Pariston and Ching, and then there's the Silent Voice. There's just so much going on, bro. It's endless. And then there's the Succession War itself going on with like Prince Benjamin and all the Nen beasts. It's the most amazing arc ever. I just oh my god, man. Maybe I should reread it. Holy crap, dude. It's just the best. like a new chapters would come out, bro, and it would be like waking up for like on Christmas morning, and they have Yu-Gi-Oh basically in the like the arc because they play that card game with Morena. Oh my god! And I didn't even mention Morena. You have Morena and that whole faction going down, and her backstory and why she's a villain, and it's just because she's not that royalty. It's just beautiful, man. It is fantastic. It is just, I keep telling people every single time, if there's a fellow Hunter x Hunter fan, I'm like, bro, you gotta read the manga. I've exhausted myself trying to convince people to read this because it is just that good. I exhausted myself to the point where I just gave up. Because I get it, man, it's a lot of text, but oh my god, dude. If someone experienced something peak from, say, like, that's an extension off or like of the story with like Naruto, I would appreciate if they like were like, bro, you gotta read this shit because peak. I think, bro, if you're a Hunter x Hunter anime only and you're not a manga guy, bro, you gotta give it a chance, bro. It is just that good, man. Like, just for your own sake. Like, I don't even have to talk to you. I don't even have to see you. I don't even have to hear your thoughts on it. Just for you, bro. Because it is that good, man. It is just that good. Like, the Kuroro Hisoka alone is amazing. And then you throw in everything I just mentioned, man. It's the greatest arc of all time. Hasn't even finished yet, so I'm not sure about that. But I think it will be. I really do. And I hope we get more chapters. How long have we been going? 1 hour, 11 minutes. Nice. Coming in at number 1 is Naruto. Naruto. Why is Naruto number 1? To me, Naruto is all about the bonds and connections we share with other people. It's all about being a good person. It's all about having a purpose. It's all about wisdom. It's all about integrity. It's all about training. It's all about wanting the best for your community. It's all about wanting the best for your friends and the people around you. I wouldn't be the person I am today without Naruto, and I'm so lucky and blessed to have grown up on this series. The first manga volume I ever received in my life was volume 1 of Naruto that my dad got me, and watching Naruto weekly was just, I'm just so lucky, dude. I'm genuinely so lucky to have experienced this amazing story in its entirety. I mean, just being able to talk about it with friends at school, and I mean, I still talk Naruto with my friends all the time. It's one of the anime that gets brought up the most, or the most, with people, with all kinds of friends, because Naruto is just universally loved by everyone. And I actually went on a date with a girl who loved Naruto too, man. And you know, the chemistry, it just wasn't there. The spark wasn't there, but you know, she she just texted me and was like, chill. And like, I texted her like yesterday and she's still chill. Whereas like, I noticed like more like immature people in general, they'll just ghost you. But hey man, us Naruto fans, bro, we're just good people, man. We're just goated. But yeah, I mean, people can ghost if they want to, but I'm just saying it's a testament to one's character that you follow through and you show up, and even when you don't need to, because you don't need to text me. You could just ghost, and you know, us fellow Naruto fans though, bro, we're just god tier. I mean, I'm not saying people are perfect, but like, I probably ghosted people too. But yeah, I own every single volume of Naruto, and I just can't think of it like any other way of me like finishing my last year of college and getting my degree while I was rewatching my favorite show ever, Naruto. it's just like a poetic ending, man. Like I was finished with my all three of my papers, which was like combined like 35 pages or 32 pages or some crazy shit like that. It's probably more than that. I'm probably lowballing it. And just waiting for my last final, I had COVID, and I was just rewatching Naruto, and I got to see the Pain versus Jiraiya fight, bro. I got to see the Sasuke versus Itachi fight, and I got to see Pain versus Naruto. I got to see Sasuke versus Killer Bee. I love Naruto, man, and I'll never forget growing up and right after the Land of Waves arc, me and bro had the like Shadow Shuriken, and we got Naruto trading cards, bro. Speaking of those, that's something I need to order, bro. But we had a whole collection, man. We had binders filled. Of course, listen, man. I know that I say this. I say everybody likes that fight. We don't need to talk, but let's just talk about it. Okay? This is why the Chunin exam is always mentioned when we talk about the greatest tournament arcs, and is debatably number one over Dark Tournament. Dark Tournament still number one, but it is Rock Lee versus Gaara. When I was a kid and I saw this for the first time, man, it was just unreal experience that I'll never forget. Insane. And then we go into the Sasuke retrieval arc later on, man. It is just, I've watched that arc at least 20 times because it is that good of an arc. The fights, the stakes, the tension. Again, it's just a brother trying to save a brother. But simple concept, really, but you take in all the moments, and you take in the Sand Shinobi showing up to help, and the final battle between Sasuke and Naruto. Oh, man. And, Naruto it's all about empathy, bro. Really, that's what it's all about. Because you see what people have to go through. In Kakashi, losing everybody. In Naruto, losing his parents, having this demon sealed inside of him. Being alone, being isolated. But still choosing the right path, and still choosing good, and seeing others and understanding that they had maybe similar or worse circumstances, and like for example, like Pain and Obito, and Naruto being able to help them return back to the person that they should be, or that they were, because Obito was just like Naruto, and Pain, Nagato, was a good kid. It's just Ward, and losing his friend, just, hey man, he wanted vengeance, right? And that Pain is just one of the best villains ever, man. I mean, his speech, he doesn't really seem like a bad guy at all. It just seems like he's spitting facts. Like, how is it fair for just the Leaf to preach justice when you guys destroyed my village? Like, he has a point there. And seeing him come around and trust Naruto, man. And Jiraiya is one of the best characters ever, bro. In my recent rewatch, though, back in 2024, like, a character that really shot up the ranks for me and I really resonated with was like Kakashi. I just really admire him for how he stays grounded, down to earth, great sensei, and like level-headed, chill guy, no matter what kind of tragedy comes his way. And he never ducks a fade. That's number one rule of the Leaf, bro, is never duck a fade. Another great character too, Shikamaru. Shikamaru is great. I could talk about so many characters, but I'll just leave it at You know, Itachi's being my number one favorite character ever. Not just in anime or Naruto, but in actual like fiction, just period. You want to talk about someone who just takes the ultimate sacrifices constantly, and he is really just like the Shadow Hokage, man. And he made so many difficult decisions and saved so many lives by getting his hands dirty and joining the enemy and being labeled an outcast, and it was all for his younger brother. And man, I just really appreciate that, of not wanting any credit, but doing what, I mean, he's kind of a martyr, let's be honest here. He's kind of like a sacrifice. It's pretty sad what he had to do, and there should have been a better solution, but that's what happens when there's a coup d'etat between an extremely strong Uchiha clan and the Leaf Village. And then Madara too. Oh my god, dude. Madara. We have to talk about Madara. Madara is just awesome. The war arc kind of blows, man, but what makes it like somewhat good is the moments that Madara and Obito have in battle. Is just peak. I was, you know, as much as we say it's not a great arc, watching it weekly was one of the most hype experiences ever, because after so many years, bro, we were finally going to figure out who is behind this mask. And of course, bro, we got to talk about Guy Sensei versus Madara. Just insanity. I declare you the strongest user of taijutsu. Oh my god, dude. Madara is a complex villain. He's difficult to understand. He lost his brother, and he wanted to find a solution to end this endless cycle of, you know, war, hatred, kind of like pain, and destruction in the shinobi world. And he believed that the infinite Tsukiyomi was the right way of doing things, so that people could be in these like dream pods and live out their perfect dreams. And yeah, I mean, I really just love Naruto. It's just, I'm the Naruto guy, dude. I've got a Naruto Labubu. It was one of the random ones, and I ended up getting Naruto himself. So yeah, love Naruto, man. And I actually did end up trying. Well, I shouldn't say that I got into it, but I was at the library recently, and I was in the manga section, and it was about to close, and it was kind of a scramble. So I picked up the first volume of Boruto, but I had to leave, so I couldn't check it out. I also didn't have my library card, but I do want to revisit and give Boruto a fourth chance now. I think we're at number 4 of trying to get into it. Just because I've heard it's such a good story. I want to try to get into it. Also, I love reading manga, so like it can't be that bad, right? And like, although I don't like Boruto and I like hate on it in some of my videos, like I acknowledge like Boruto's got some aura. Same with like Kawaki, and some of the character design choices are actually really fire in Boruto. So yeah, but Naruto is just peak, bro. Sasuke, extremely well written character, amazing. You want to talk about a big reason why the show is so interesting is because of Sasuke, and seeing how he responds in his his clan being wiped out, and him wanting to get more power and go to Orochimaru. I think he's a relatable character because there's points in our life where we really can't just sit around and play ninja. There's points in our life where we have to lock in, and we have to maybe make some sacrifices, maybe not be in the mix with people, and really focus on ourselves to reach the goals that we want to reach. And yes, he is easily manipulated. That's kind of a big flaw of Sasuke's character. That's a partial reason why I'm not the biggest fan. He's also called a fraud for some of his fights, like against Deidara, Killer Bee. But Naruto is just so special, dude. It's one of the greatest anime ever. There's a reason it's been #1 on Netflix for so many years, and I'm really looking forward to those 4 episodes we're getting. But this has been my top 25 anime list. Let's fucking go, guys. Peace. X signing out.